And welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm so excited to be here in Los Angeles, where last evening I had an opportunity to watch the premiere of a brand new short film called Mildred for a Million, starring the one and only Miss Marla Gibbs. She's joining us today, along with the writer, producer, director, Kimmie P. Callaway. Thanks to the two of you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And you wait, did I hear you say you came last night?
I was there last night. I flew in from Mississippi after I saw it on Miss Gibbs' page on Instagram. I flew in from Mississippi for the event. I was there last night with you guys.
Thank you.
Cool.
Look, it was the love in the room was amazing. And I want to begin there with the two of you, actually, with that question. Miss Gibbs, you've had such an extraordinary career. I didn't even know about the music until the film. What has it been like for you to see the love you've been getting, Miss Gibbs?
It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, really wonderful.
Yeah.
And I was so happy that everyone liked the film.
Yeah. It really is a lot of fun and such great messages, which I won't spoil here. Kimmie, I want to ask you, for yourself, what was it like for you to feel the love in the room and the support for the film?
It was incredible, but I have to say, at first, all I cared about was if Marla liked it or not. And I wasn't sure if she did, because after it ended, I went over and we were about to do the Q&A, and she was eating her popcorn. And I was like, are we gonna do this, or did you like it? And then I was like, and my heart sank just a little bit, because I want her to love it and feel great about it. And this was her first time. She took such a leap of faith, like not seeing it until the theater. She didn't need to watch any cuts or have any. So that was such a huge compliment for her to trust me. She said, no, I'll just wait to see it in the theater. But then for a minute, I was like, oh my God, did she not like it? And then things got rolling and people were standing ovation, and we just, and then I was like, and I'm like walking down, I was like, did you like it? Did you like it? She's like, yeah. Like, thank God. That's really what I cared about the most, to be honest. But then, yes, everyone seemed to have really, lovely response. So many people connected with it, shared personal stories, how they connected with it. So it was an amazing evening.
I guess everybody had a grandmother or great grandmother.
Yeah, and that was one of the most powerful things, Kimmie. I think that this is my first time seeing one of your productions, and one thing that of course really struck me was the question at the end of the Q&A, where you talked about where the idea came from, and actually taking your own leap of faith in doing this. What was that like for you to see that paying off for you, that you're believing in yourself to say, not only could I do this, but actually doing it? What was that like for you, Kimmie?
Well, right now I'm really, really tired, but I think because we just finished the film Sunday night. We just shot it at the end of July. Yeah. But no, it's an amazing feeling. I just haven't caught up. Like, it just hasn't. It's an amazing. It's the reception for it is great. The love of Marla is great. I feel very proud and very grateful to my husband and like the 100 crew members.
Yeah.
Took all doing their jobs really well for this to be, close to what it is. And I'm grateful, and I'm proud of myself. I decided in March, I was like, I'm doing this. We're gonna let's try this thing. And I've made a lot of content through the years. I've directed and produced for a long time. It's a lot of commercials and a lot of fluff kind of stuff that I don't really connect to. And so I was like, I'm just gonna try to make something that I really want to make and share with people, and that is really comes from my heart. And that's what this is. Yeah, it's like I make stuff all the time, but this is special. So, and I want to do more of that. That's what I want to make from here on out. Things that I care about.
Love that.
Amazing people like her.
Yeah. Miss Gibbs, one of the things that you said just now, and it resonated with me as someone raised primarily with my grandmother, is that everyone has someone like Mildred in their family. Do you hope, without spoiling anything, Miss Gibbs, do you hope that people think about that family connection more after they watch Mildred for a million.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Probably one of the most powerful scenes for me, Kimmie, was seeing Mildred standing at looking at the window, then at the door with that plate and her hand starting to shake, and she says, I think I better sit down. Because that feeling of, are they coming? Did they forget? I think we don't think about that in our busy lives, about the person who's waiting for us, what they're feeling. Why
Right.
was that important for you to show, Kimmie? Because I think it really touched me to make me think about, when we tell people we're going to do something, the importance of doing that.
I think that's important.
Yeah. Such an important thing.
And
Kimmie, what about for you? Yeah.
she ad-libbed that line, by the way, because I don't tend to write lines when it sometimes bothers me in movies when people talk to themselves. Because sometimes it feels like, but I do it and we do, and sometimes it is very natural, and especially when you're living alone, or when I do it too. So when she did it, I was like, that feels really authentic, but I did write the beat into the script of the handshaking, and then they're not here, and I do see that a lot, like just disrespect and just not realizing how much folks, like, just not honoring all the work it takes to go into a visit like that, and she's left to do the dishes afterwards. They just, so many hours were poured into this, and it's, such a special moment in time, and it's just kind of squandered because we're distracted and busy and gotta work, gotta look at our phone, gotta do this.
Yeah.
So
I tend to focus on the serious things, so I'm going to try to lighten it up for the audience. Because there were a lot of fun moments in here, and Ms. Gibbs, you were so funny in some of these parts, especially when you were going through the different ideas of how you could get 1 million followers. I want to talk about that in a broader sense, because one thing I thought was really interesting and fun was that Mildred had people of different generations there, kind of, rooting her on, even begrudgingly, but they were still willing to help, whether it's even setting up the account or giving her ideas, right? Ms. Gibbs, what was that like for you to think about the generational aspect of that in the film, but also in your own career, the generations you've been able to entertain?
Yeah, being a person who's not really into social media, and don't know, I don't know about TikTok and all that. Being able to think about that was really fun.
Yeah, I love that. Love
I
that.
heard TikTok. I heard the expression TikTok, but that's all. I don't know what it is.
Ms. Gibbs, I'm not on there either. So so
Trying to get 1 million followers on TikTok was very interesting.
Yeah. I love that.
And going through all the things that you can do to get on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Really interesting. And it was really interesting when I didn't get the 1 million followers. Mm-hmm. Until at the end, when I gave up and decided just talk.
Yeah.
Get 2 million followers.
That is such a great thing. Kimmie, I'm curious for yourself. Was that important for you to show, even like I said, when it came to the mail carrier, right? Thinking, okay, is this for real? But then still taking that step, something that you wonder if family would have done, and that's one thing I thought about in a film. What was it like for you, Kimmie, to have that generational aspect in it?
That was really phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I mean, to think about the generation gap, mm-hmm. what they're doing as opposed to what you would do.
Yeah.
Not trying to get on the same page with them is something else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm trying to get on the page with my 7-year-old great granddaughter, mm-hmm. which I would never thought I'd be doing. But that's the only way to get her attention. Okay, TikTok, okay.
And I have to say, I'm not a big social media person. I hadn't posted on Instagram or anything in years. I've never had a TikTok, and so it was a little bit of a learning experience for me too. I wrote the things like how folks are getting famous on the internet without really diving in. But then once we were getting to the place of like graphics and, you know, all the user interface, you know, people reacting to her doing things on TikTok, I really got in there and took a look at it, and I was like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
To each their own, but it's too many. It's very overwhelming. And so I think that I kind of identified with Mildred a lot actually while writing it, because even, you know, at 43, people, my friends my age, are way more into social media than I am. Yeah. And then I know that my daughters, my 3 and 5-year-old daughters, are gonna undoubtedly be into some of that stuff. And I feel out of touch already, you know, so I can't even imagine, you know, those who don't text on a daily basis or do all those things, like the feeling of disconnect sometimes there.
Yeah, I love that. Kimmie, to that point, I thought it was funny. Like I said, I found out about this thanks to the post on Ms. Gibbs' Instagram account. But then when I found the handle for Millie for a Billion, the one post that's up there in the caption, you said, "I don't know if I'm doing this right," but like it. That was so funny to me. And I was like, wow, this is, I mean, I think you're exactly right. It can be overwhelming, social media, but you know, it brings us together like this, which like I said, I never would have even found out about it had it not been for that post. And so I do want to ask you this one last thing, and I really appreciate the time. And I know you all have had a very busy 24 hours. Kimmie, for you, one of the things that came out in the premiere that people wanted to know was, how can they support? So I want to ask you to let our audience know, how can they support Mildred for a Million?
You brought up a great point that social media, there's a time and a place for everything, right? So It has great things about it. You know, the fact that we can FaceTime with our relatives across the country and connect with people that we can't be right there with. Absolutely. So in the spirit of that, we have a TikTok channel, Mildred for a Million, the number 4, that we're going to launch. You know, as I should probably post something today. But we're gonna release videos of Mildred, Mildred's her character from the movie. We're gonna be showing the full videos that she does for Stella. So that'd be our TikTok channel. And then on Instagram, I'm hoping that the cast and crew will really lead that charge for me a little bit. So you can follow us on either of those places. And then please come see the film at the Royal Lamley Theater. We're playing for 7 days at 3:10 p.m. Every day from today. I'm headed there after this. You want to go again? No. 3:10 p.m. every day through next week. And that's our Academy qualifying run. So hopefully, you know, we get folks to notice, and then we'll be in festivals, hopefully January, February, March. Hopefully we get picked up by a Netflix or a Disney Plus or anyone who wants to give us a lot of money to
Yeah,
I love
Instagram post.
Yes.
My grandson does all my Instagram.
Okay.
All I know is the word Instagram.
Well, it works, Miss Gibbs, because that's why I came from Mississippi to see you, to see Kimmie, and to see this film. So thank you all so much. Yeah.
So cool. I wish I could have given you a big hug last night.
Well, look, you all were getting a lot of them, so I was fine just taking pictures and posting them on Instagram and my stories. But I do appreciate the two of you. Again, everyone, Kimmie P. Callaway and the one and only Miss Marla Gibbs. Thanks to you, the two of you. And please make sure you guys check out Marla Gibbs' single on Amazon, Never Too Old. It is featured in the film, and I had never heard it before, but I bought it on Amazon afterwards. So you all can get the reimagined version on Amazon or your favorite streaming site as well. But thanks to the two of you for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Cyrus.
Right. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. You all take care.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cyrus.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too. Give us a hug next time.
Definitely.